Previously on Dark Heresy.
Very good. Episode 31. Crash Course. Nixios sat alone in the chamber of cell 54. The previous day, Kiyoshi, Courtney, and he had returned from the orbital assault. They had feasted on roast boar and vegetables, amasek and ale, recaf and jelly. But afterwards, Kiyoshi and Courtney had returned to their chambers in the aft of the ship. Of Sister Cleetus, there was no sign. After the previous mission to Lost Hope, she had gone to give sermon, but she had never returned. It was as if she had vanished. Nixios had the chamber all to himself. For now. Later he had a debrief scheduled with Laura Skysinger. We had a little free time before, so we went across to the Inquisitor's chamber, and there, guarding, was the interrogator, Aaron Mattis. They spoke of the missing sister, wondering whether she had turned to Spinebreaker, like Sister Xanthe. They discussed teleportarium technology. These devices required a huge amount of power, which would likely show up on the ship's augurs. In addition, the void shields of the Malevolence would foil any attempt to teleport on or off board. The Malevolence had dropped her shields a number of times whenever she deployed or took on board the smaller craft like the gunships or the cargo lifters or the interceptors. But when Sister Cleetus had vanished, the void shields were up. They discussed the loyalty of the tech adepts on board, who might have facilitated the transfer. Mattis said that the Technomancer had served on board for 5 campaigns. His loyalty was not in question. Treachery could be found in some of the lower-ranking tech adepts. Nixios headed to his debriefing. Laura was waiting and poured him a recaf. She informed Nixios of his promotion to strike leader and gave him trappings of his new rank. A piece of Xenos technology, a targeting array to supplement his ballistics, and a servo skull that contained an all-specs unit built in. For the next week, Nixios would undertake training in pilotry under Commander Sharp and Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash. He was to report to the bridge immediately. There, the Malevolence exited the warp in an uninhabited system that was dominated by an expansive asteroid field. Commander Sharp asked Nixios to pilot the ship along a course that would put it at risk of being destroyed. Nixios was to dodge the meteoroids as best he could. Sharp considered this to be a questionable order, but who was he to second-guess the orders of the Inquisitor? A jolt of anxiety surged through Nixios. He was being thrown in at the deep end of ship pilotry for the second time. It did not go well. The meteoroids started impacting upon the void shields. The outer layer burst like a soap bubble. And then a huge asteroid detonated upon the second void shield, detonating into 1,000,000 fragments. Nixios could not seem to dodge any of the obstacles. Red lights flickered across the ship. Warnings flooded across the Vox. More and more meteoroids crashed, now into the hull of the Malevolence. Terrible, tearing noises could be heard, the tearing of metal that reminded everyone on board of the thin protection that the starship offers against the expanse of space. In engineering, a ladle of molten steel was overturned, and engineers were caked in molten metal. One meteoroid rent in the hole vented a number of gunnery loaders to their end. Several meteors impacted along the mass drivers. Sharp commanded a new bearing, beads of sweat rolling down his forehead. More and more impacts hammered onto the Malevolence as it fled the asteroid field. Grievous damage was inflicted upon the ship. For what? It seemed so needless.
Like so many things we do.
For the rest of the week, Nix bedded down in the pilot's barracks and found that he did well in the other tests that were set to him. And eventually he found that he did have a real knack for pilotry. But what a way for him to start his intensive course of training. Nixios' next mission was unusual. He was to take under his wing a series of specialists and forge them into the new Cell 54. He was to take the mutants that he had purchased in Lost Hope, along with a captured mutant, a demonologist from Grimsport, and Courtney, the insane, unsanctioned psyker, and fashion them into a new unit in the service of the Inquisition. Nix set about his task. He found that his chamber had been significantly refashioned to house the mutants in a secure cell, complete with toxic gas dispenser in case they got out of line. He also met his new roommate, the demonologist, mad old Tommy Lee Dangerfield. The room smelt faintly of cheese. Tommy Lee seemed an amiable fellow, if a little different. They surely bred them a little strange out in the bayou. The demonologist seemed willing to help, offering Nixios information about the mutants. He offered Nix a piece of bayou cheese. I've had a very strange day, Tommy, and that cheese is about ready to push me over the edge, said Nixios. It seemed as if Tommy Lee knew things. He certainly knew a bit about one of the mutants, a four-armed lizardman called Cleetus. They had shared a cup of moonshine at the Harvest Festival a few years back. This Cleetus seemed a deadly creature and willing to participate. Cleetus appeared eager to regain his freedom and to lose the explosive collar around his neck. He also expressed an interest in setting up production of moonshine. Tommy Lee offered Cleetus a piece of bayou cheese. It was choice stuff, very sharp. The three-armed dwarf builder, Nick, also seemed happy to work and prove himself. Nixios offered him the chance to improve his knowledge of technology. Nick scratched his head with his third arm, and he wondered if he had the smarts. Time would tell. Tommy Lee offered the builder a piece of cheese. It was gratefully received. Next up was the corpulent, unnaturally strong mutant 3366. He had been battering the hell out of his cell. 3366 was full of anger and insolence, but it seemed as if Nix had a lever with which to control him. He ordered food sent to the room whilst he... Excuse me. That's enough! Pardon me. He ordered food sent to the room whilst he spoke with the captured lizardman, who called himself Luke. The lizardman's eyes were full of hatred as he eyed up his new master. The invaders had taken everything from him. They had razed the bayou, slaughtered his kin, all for a painting. They had taken the nails that had been implanted in his skull since he was a baby. Now this seemed bizarre to Nixios, but far from the strangest thing that he had seen that day. He scanned the lizardman's skull with the auspex for clues as to how the nails would interact with the mutant's brain. How could this mutant function? It should be lobotomized. Tommy Lee interjected and spoke to the lizardman. He gave almost a sermon, and it seemed that he had a knack for these things. Luke recognized him. He had heard of Tommy Lee and seemed to possess almost a religious fervour for his vision. What Tommy Lee says, the things he knows, they come true. Always. Not always, insisted the Bayou Man. Luke seemed willing to listen to the demonologist. It looked as if he had faith in him. But before he would consider this new role, he demanded his nails back. They had been taken from him by a beautiful woman who had captured him, one who had metal parts upon her face. She had prized the nails from his skull. Nix said that he would make it so. Tommy Lee offered again the bio cheese to Luke, who had spurned it on the first offering. And this time he ate it. It was delicious. The food arrived. There were 2 portions of roast boar with roast vegetables and 5 portions of nutrient paste. Nix gave his luxurious meal along with a portion of paste to the big mutant. 3366 ate the food in a disgusting display, no better than a dog, but it seemed to placate him for the time being. Tommy Lee chose not to offer the bayou cheese to the big man. Perhaps again, he knew things. Nix and Luke were fed nutrient paste. Courtney took a shine to the lizardman Cleetus and took him her luxurious meal. She sat with him in his cell, and they shared food together, sat close. Potentially, this move was reckless, but Courtney had a good feeling about the lizardman. She knew that she could trust him. More than that, she found him thrilling, exciting. 4 arms, a prehensile tail, a long, dexterous tongue. Nix and Tommy Lee sat and supped on nutrient paste, elevated by the inclusion of the bayou cheese. It wasn't half bad. It had been a strange day. Okay, guys. So, where we're going to begin today's roleplay. I can't see Hayden. His screen's black. Oh, I can see you again now. Now I can see you now. You just pop back into existence. So where we're going to begin today's game is we are in the chamber of cell 54. You are split into 2 pairs at the minute. We've got Tommy Lee and Nix who have just finished their meal. Tommy Lee, you've left about a third of your paste and cheese. Nix, I think you've eaten all of yours up. Cleetus and Courtney are sat side by side in Courtney's cell. Now I see what's going on here, Hayden. Have you been making a mess in your room?
It's me. I can't highlight a bullet. That'll be Dave. He likes pissing everywhere.
Hey, I can't get in the cell. I've not been in the cell, man. It can't be me.
Someone's been drawing piss and shit all over Hayden's cell. There's only two people in contention for this crime.
Honestly, it
there's only two. Well, I've immediately eliminated 2 of you out of
I'll
contention.
hold my hands up. It was definitely me.
You rascal.
It's just my new thing. I do it everywhere I go. I do it in real life as well.
Did you get caught short? Got caught short
Okay.
during the intro.
It just amused me that Hayden's character's in a cell, and I thought it really should have some piss on the floor.
He's taking Lupus to the next level.
Yeah, Lupus is
Now pissing into other dimensions.
Lupus is meta pissing.
Anyway, so we're
okay. So there's 2. You split into 2 pairs. There's 2 of you sat Tommy Lee with Nix, and then there's Cleetus sat with Courtney, and you're sat in the cell. You finish your meal together.
Very nice, Courtney. I love. Thank you very much for sharing with me. And what are you doing with your hand on my prehensile tail?
Just checking it out. Just checking it out. You intrigue me. You know, all these possibilities.
I'm just not used to beautiful women like you trying to touch my tail.
Wow.
Can my mouth open really wide like a lizard, or have I got normal lips?
No. Well, I mean, that's kind of it's kind of up to you as to how wide Lizard and Cleetus's mouth opens. I don't think that's been clearly defined, but in my mental space, it can open. He's got his mouth quite wide.
Like she's just gonna look at him and go, well, you're coming with me. You can't stay in here.
I don't know what my new Lord Nixios will have to say about that, but I'll gladly go with you.
Comes into him. Nix, can I have this one?
No, you certainly can't. You don't know where he's been. Take your hand off his tail.
Oh. Okay. Roger that.
This is a new elite military unit.
It's going to turn to Cleetus and go, don't worry, I'll get you out of here.
There's Tommy Lee.
I can always go. You should be. Can I see this? Can I see this, Alan? Is this an air vent?
Can you see? Yes, you can. That is an air vent, and it links your chamber to the chamber beside it. But yes, it's an air vent.
What's the chamber beside it?
The one beside it contains Luke, who is the other lizardman who was captured by Cell 53 at the end of the orbital assault, and he's the one that Alexa prized the nails out of his skull.
Okay.
That's
so.
What brings you to this ship, this guy?
Well, I sort of just turned up here. It's a long story, really. I won't bore you with it. But yeah, suffice to say, I'm here now, and I'm in service to the Inquisition. Yeah, it's a boring story, to be honest. You know, people want to set you on fire because you've got special powers and all this silliness. You must know what I mean. I don't know. Like, you know, people might, you know, I don't know. Back on.
You say,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, look at you. Look at you. You've got 4 arms. You've got a prehensile tail and that marvelous licky tongue. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's summer season. I might go a bit paler in the winter.
What do you use that for then?
What?
That licky tongue. What's that for?
This is for anything you want. Taste the air.
Oh, I see. Yeah. What does it taste like at the minute?
Tastes like Pretty Woman to me.
Oh.
But, hey, I'm
gonna turn my comms off and go, help! I'm trapped in a cell with a big strong lizard man. And then I'm gonna turn it back on again, like beep. That was just for us. Don't worry about that. I'll see about getting you out of here. I think a man of your talents could be better employed elsewhere on the ship, namely in my chambers. But we'll work on that. Let's see. You know, I need a bodyguard, and I need somebody to hold towels for me when I get out of the shower. Could you do that? Could you do that? Have you got the qualifications to do that for me? I've got a hook that can hold a towel, but you know, I like.
Hold on a sec, guys. At the minute, I'm really struggling to see or hear Hayden. Is it just me, or can everyone see and hear him?
Yeah, he's freezing a bit on me.
I think there's got a connection issue with you, Hayden. I think we need to sort that out, buddy.
Yeah,
I can see him, but he's gone full robot.
yeah, robot. Okay.
He's just grinning like a lunatic on my screen.
Can't see him. I can't see him, but all I can hear is like.
He's just sort of going.
Yeah, it wasn't mine as well.
Oh, lost him now. Okay. So, those two are having a little shenanigans in the cell. What, Nix and Tommy saying anything to one another, or are they just sat in awkward silence out in the main chamber?
Yeah.
Tommy Lee's going to
calming and going, "Give me strength."
Tommy Lee's going to say to Nixios,
You okay there, Mr. Nixios? You hearing voices?
Yes, it's telling me to blow some explosive collars.
Voices a lot, do you?
What's my motivation, Alan?
What's your motivation? Well,
yeah.
I mean, in what regards?
We came to see everyone. Like what?
Sorry, so let's start again. So, what's your motivation? As in, what are your mission objectives, or what is his character's motivation? Because I say a good chunk of that has to come, I suppose, from you because it's your character. I wouldn't say Nixios has a fully fleshed out backstory. I don't think we've not really got any sort of backstory for Yarn either. It's kind of been something that you've developed as you've gone, I suppose. So there's no right and wrong answer to what your motivation is.
These guys, like, where do I start getting these guys ready to fight with?
So your mission objectives are basically to try and recruit these guys, get them working for the Inquisition if they can, and to make an assessment of each of them. Yeah. And your assessment will determine whether they can be used or whether they're to be killed. So what you need to try and do is to get them to the stage where they will give up medical samples to the good doctor. And because the reason that the mutants have been purchased is so the doctor can work on like a counter medicine, or rather he's already got counter medicine to the miasma, but he wants to improve upon it. So all of you receive this like compound X in the other group, and it gave you a defense against them to the miasma, and so that's what he's trying to work on and trying to improve upon to protect the ship's crew from the corruption which they're all at risk of. So that's why these mutants have been purchased. That's the stated reason. So you are to kind of interact with each of the mutants, which you've already done a bit of, assess what which ones can be used and which ones can't. And you need to get them to give up medical samples. So that's and also you have been told to observe Tommy Lee for signs of treachery, because it could be that he's one of these nasty I don't know,
bastards,
bayou traitors people. So that's the secondary objective. Just keep an eye on Tommy Lee. Befriend him if you can, but also keep an eye on him. So they're your mission objectives that you were given. I still can't see Hayden or hear Hayden.
Can you not?
No, I can hear you. I'll go back here.
See him.
I can see you now, mate.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here.
Cool. So James was just asking. He was just asking what his motivation was.
Okay, yeah, I heard your answer for a lot of that. To be fair, I was out for about a couple of minutes until I rigged my phone up.
Cool. Okay. So, do you have any questions, James? Or
Well, I need
anything I
to
can
go
explain?
the nails off Alexa. So,
Okay, so this is well, it's going to get slightly tricky. This is partly a problem of my own making.
Fine.
In that this group or this cell of players is about 8 days in front of the other group. So I don't really want any interactions between the two groups just yet until I can let the other group kind of catch up to where we are. So
Yeah.
what I'd say we can do here is you can comms into Alexa. She will be for plot reasons very busy at the minute, but she'll arrange to meet you tomorrow.
Or you could always send a
And then
servitor
when
down with them. You know what I mean? You could always send a servitor down with them or something.
What
you know.
what I'm trying to say is it may be what's going to happen is we're going to play out a little bit of time with this group, and then we're going to go back to the other group and catch them up in time as well. And then when both groups are kind of roughly at the same point in the timeline, then it makes things a lot easier to interact. So this is kind of a problem my own making, and it's I suppose a bit messy, but there you have it. That's where we are. So she comes into Alexa. She arranges to meet with you tomorrow. But for now, you're not going to be able to get the nails and get Luke on board. Okay, so that's something that you're going to have to, I suppose, park for a little bit.
Regis. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Like I say, it's a bit of a messy scenario, but it's partly because I wanted to get straight on with this group, rather than catch up Cell 53 up to this point in the timeline. I wanted to get on with this group. So.
Well, the B team.
The Alpha team. You mean? This team's the Alpha team, isn't it?
You know, Cell 53 B team.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if I'd have done it maybe a bit more sensibly, I might have done a session or 2 or 3. I don't know, with Cell 53 first.
Okay.
Okay, so.
What? Sorry. I'm just going to come into Nixios. I was like, Nixios, sir. What do I call you now? Can we? I'm just going to send to Cleetus. I was like, Cleetus. When I first came aboard this ship, I was just like you. I didn't know where I was. I was a bit disorientated. And then I had to go and see this weird-looking man who wanted to take samples from me and do different things. Now, I thought he was going to try and kill me, but he wasn't. He was just trying to take some samples from me. Blood, things like that. Only a little tiny bit. He's not going to try and take all your blood, so don't worry about it. But we might need to take something from you in order to get an idea of what your potential is, basically.
Yeah, my balls are my own.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'll be fondling those. I don't think that's his department.
I never been to no fancy doctor. Never been to fancy doctor in my life.
Well, all you need to do is.
It sounds like it's about time the doctor examined you. Sounds like you're way overdue. I'm going to come into the doctor and ask him to head to the cell and see if he can get.
All right, but I'm a bit nervous. To be fair, never seen no fancy doctor.
Don't worry, I'll hold one of you. I'll hold one of your hands. Come with me.
All right.
She's going to sort of lead him out and be like, "Right, this one's ready. Who's next? Or should we do one
Well, won't the crew be a bit styled by my appearance?
We'll just I can always put in a request to have certain corridors kept clear.
We'll have the doctor come here.
What if you find me a pillow and a sheet, and I can fold my arms over that pillow and use a sheet to cover myself with, and cover my tail up, and I can disguise myself like I'm some sort of sheeted fat man?
That's a great idea.
Well, someone can find me
a wandering around just yet.
If someone can find okay.
Yeah, it might alarm some of the crew, but we're not worried about that.
Okay, so you're going to comms into the good doctor, is that right, James?
Yes.
Okay, so you comes into the doctor, and the doctor responds. He goes, "Hello, this is Dr. Bucket. Hello."
Hello, Dr.
Is anybody?
Bucket.
And then he turns off the comms. He comms goes dead.
That's so cool. That was it. That was a chant.
Damn
He's
it,
a
Jim.
busy
I'm a
man.
doctor, not a cog boy.
He's a busy man.
Very busy.
What's he doing?
Is that the name of the voice in your head? Dr.
Call the doctor
Bucket?
again.
Okay, Carl goes. The doctor goes, "Hello, this is Dr. Bucket. Is anybody there?"
Bucket. Dr. Bucket.
Oh, hello. Who is this?
This is Nixios. Can you meet me in? And I'll let him know what this room's called.
Okay.
If you want to get some samples from.
Oh yes. Are they ready? Are they compliant?
My specialist squad. Well, I think at least half of them are.
Oh, good. That's excellent news. I shall be right there. Yes, I shall be right there. And the comms turns off.
Is that the name of the voice in your head, Mr. Nixios? Dr. Bucket?
That's the ship's medical specialist.
Where is he?
Well, he'll be right along. These devices allow us to communicate over long distances, just like
You mean-
talking to somebody far away without
You mean that-
actually having to be there in person.
You telling me you got the gift? You got the gift of the planet? You can speak to people who ain't here?
I've got the gift of pressing a button to talk through this little communicator. This is technology. This is. Well, you must have seen a radio on your planet.
My feet gallop along the racetrack and the ice frozen in my eyebrows. But I know I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I thought maybe you were speaking to someone I couldn't see. Well, I mean, you were speaking to someone.
Technically, I was.
Say again, James.
I said technically I was speaking to somebody you
Well,
can't. They'll be
yeah.
presently. The
I
ship
just
is
thought,
quite large. Yeah. This is a vessel unlike anything you've seen before.
no shit. This is a place like nothing I ain't seen before. It sure is strange here, Mr. Nixios. The floor's real cold too.
I second that. Bobby got that pillow.
Is there any way we can?
Completely bare. There's no.
Well, most of the cells seem to have like a pillow and like bedding, but for Cleetus it doesn't for some reason.
You think we'd be able to maybe light a little fire or something? Because it sure is cold in here.
Surely there must be some thermo controls.
Silma, what now?
No. Can I have a look around myself for some?
I'd like you to. There's a console on the room. Would you make a tech use test, please?
3306.
I'm going to peer over his shoulder like this the whole time he's using it.
Okay, so the room's temperature, or the thermostat, if you like, in the room is set to a specific amount. You don't have the option to turn up the temperature in your room up and down. The whole ship is kind of regulated, based on energy requirements and the like. So it's not that anyone can just turn the temperature up in the room as much as they might like. It's just set to what is thought to be required, and you don't think it's especially cold. Nixios, you spent your whole life on board a starship, and this is pretty normal. There is some warmth to be had, but it's obviously not as warm as it is down on the planet, which is a very humid and and hot swamp world.
Downside of being a lizard, I guess. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't change the temperature, folks. This is comfortable on a.
Hey, Courtney. You know he's on about your fancy room, and being the fact I can't get there, I don't suppose you have a spare pillow.
Oh, I'm sure I could. I'm sure I
bedding.
I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could arrange some sort of bedding for you if you'd like. I mean,
that'd be amazing, and maybe a pair of overalls.
Pair of overalls.
Yeah, I don't require you to make me some extra sleeves. I'll just push them through my arms. I'll have to go sleeveless as usual, but with my old second Delta quads.
What about if we got you a long coat, a long nice coat, and then you could hide your other set of arms underneath it. Not that you should have to hide them,
That would be my fine idea.
Because they are marvelous, and maybe a hood or something like that. To
I tell you what, Courtney, you dress me however you want. Seems as I'm here.
I will. I'll have a look. I'll have a look through my wardrobe and see what I've got.
I've only got one condition.
What's that?
No bows.
No bows. Oh.
No bows.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to help you then.
And
then she's just going to wrap him on the chest and go, "Just kidding." Ow.
Yeah, fine. So why, Miss Courtney, are you choosing to spend your time with obviously an unsavoury character like myself?
Oh, you're an unsavoury character.
That's what everybody treats me like.
But
I was a hard-working man before I got made a slave.
But didn't you just eat some bio cheese earlier on? Did you have some bio cheese?
Oh, well, actually, I see your point. That is quite savoury, man.
Exactly.
It is very savoury.
I don't miss a trick, me. I don't miss a trick. So
I guess I could say not very sweet then.
So maybe you are a savoury character. Maybe you're not give. Maybe you should give yourself a bit more credit. Maybe people have given you a bad rap in life, and I can understand that. You know, you might randomly set something on fire by accident when you say hello to somebody in the morning. It's not your fault. It just happens. You know what I mean? You get a bad rap. She's a witch. Let's burn her. It's most unfair. Oh, he's got 4 arms. He must be dangerous. No.
So you've been treated a bit contempt. Luckily, though, in the Bayou Courtney, people around me are used to seeing, gifted people like myself a bit more readily than, I suppose, they do the way you look at me. Apart from you, Miss Courtney, you seem to be a mighty fine person to spend some time with me. Very impressed.
Oh, you intrigue me. You've got what looks like a lot of potential to me. And she's just going to look around, look at him and look him up and down and be like, and then just nod and go, potential.
I could do backflips if you want.
Could you? Can you show me?
All right, then. I'll
do you want to do a backflip? Okay, let's have
I'll try to impress Miss Courtney.
She's going to stand back a little bit.
Can I do it off the bench to give me an extra height for like a +5 or something?
Well, you risk you risk of hitting the ceiling if you're not careful. So it's maybe like say the extra height. You're already quite tall, remember?
Off the
bed as well. It's not, maybe it might make it more difficult, not less difficult.
Click that, and then something like that. Yeah. Oh,
wow!
I do a spinning backflip.
He pulls off an incredible feat of acrobatics. He seems to do it without even trying, which makes it even more impressive. So he's showing you an unnatural amount of agility here.
Under her breath, Courtney says, "Oh, get me a mop." And sort of looks away, like. So, did you have to practice those moves very much, or is it just something that you could naturally do? Is it,
Well, I'm adept at sneaking around and jumping into places. Been practicing squeezing through halls, but I'm not that good at it yet.
Oh, really? Well, practice makes perfect, doesn't it? Practice makes perfect.
I could
You
do
keep
with all the
squeezing.
practice I could get, Miss Courtney.
You keep squeezing your way through them holes, and you just you follow that dream. You follow your dreams, like that. And she's gonna give him a bit of a bit of a tap on the arm, like, oh, you know what I mean? Can I keep
Is it?
Nixios? Can I keep this one?
Absolutely not.
And Miss Emma comes off. That Nixios is a big mean. He's a mean man. He's a big mean man. He won't let me take you out of here. I just want to. We can elope to safety, to the safety of my chambers. Yeah, the things that we could do there. Anyway, I've said too much.
I say, you right, Temptress, you giving a man in behind bars a bit of hope. But if you could sort me a pillow and some bedding, I'd be much obliged.
She's gonna go, me, a temptress, and then just sort of like move her sort of hand down there, and then sort of pull her dress, the top of her dress slightly down, and then be like, no, not at all.
I'm a robot temptress.
That.
What did you?
I'll get you
what
that
did you
pillow, and then she's gonna sweep
What did you
out.
say, James, about a valet?
So doesn't she already have a valet?
Courtney, no.
No, not
she
yet.
doesn't.
Oh,
they're not
no.
common. They're not commonplace on board the ship.
I could do with a valet. I really could.
You purchased one, but it was taken by Laura Sky.
Yeah.
Along with the deeds.
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk up to Nixios. I'll be like, Nixios, do you have any objections to me getting this Cleetus a pillow? I don't think it'd do any harm. You know, maybe the path of kindness is the way to win these mutants' hearts.
Well, he needs some bedding. Why doesn't he have any bedding?
I don't know. It's an oversight. Maybe it was. Maybe you know, it was. Yeah, maybe it wasn't deemed necessary to provide any sort of comfort for these creatures.
Probably an oversight. I mean,
yeah.
There are always problems with logistics.
Yeah.
On board, you know, in the Imperium.
Got to be logistics. Maybe the logistics officer was sucked out in the last venting.
maybe the quartermaster has got himself an extra pillow.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm not going to go see that quartermaster.
Yeah. Hey, Courtney, I like the hairpin you've got in your hair. Do you mind if I just borrow that for a little bit? A reminder of you.
I'm sorry, but it is holding up my hairdo, and that's a sneaky trick. One step at a time. One step at a time. I'm not. You think I fell off an Emperor's Ascension Day Christmas tree, don't you? You do, don't you? You do.
Well, I had to try my luck. I'm so man.
Yeah, I'm like. She's gonna be like, you're a slippery one, aren't you?
You should see me when I'm wet, baby.
Then she's gonna walk out the room, walk out and be like, oh, a slippery one, yes. I'm gonna go and get this pillow. So, and she's gonna sweep off past everybody, and you know.
Well, brilliant.
So you're leaving Cleetus.
Yeah. I am really. I am actually going to go and fetch him like a pillow, and then I might see the quartermaster about some sort of bedding or something as well.
Are you closing the cell door behind you?
I am going to. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be like,
so you close the cell door. It locks automatically.
Don't worry, I won't be long.
No worries, madam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move over to this vent. At the side of the cell, over here. I'm going to examine it.
Okay. Make a perception roll.
Perception.
Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm just going to toddle off out of this thing, like, at ease, boys. Then walk off.
Okay, so you this door here to the cell complex, it has a hand reader. It's tuned to your hand as well as Nixios's. the door opens and it closes automatically behind you, and then you head off outside. You give Nixios a nod. You head off outside, nod to the stormtroopers, and you head off back towards your chamber.
Oh, it's this way.
It is that way. And as you head off, you do see coming the other way, Dr. Festus Bucket.
She's gonna shrink back. She's gonna shrink back into the corner in horror, and just like.
And as he sees you, he seems to recoil in fear as well. So both of you kind of recoil to the other side of the.
I'm gonna creep past. I'm gonna creep past him like this, like. Hello, Doctor. Hello. But never take my eyes off him, and then just be like, but then run off.
Okay, so it's not clear which of you is more scared of the other one or not. So you head off back to your chamber. Yeah. So while Courtney's doing this, is anyone else doing anything? You're examining the air vent. Did you say?
Can I climb up onto the air vent and talk through it?
You can talk through it. You have a look at it, but it looks sturdy. You don't see any weaknesses to it or anything.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could get in and speak to this guy here, because
you can talk through it.
Let's see. Hello in there.
Okay, well before we carry on with you, Hayden, I just want to check whether, you and Courtney have had a little bit of time. I just want to check whether Tommy Lee and Nix are doing anything while they're having this conversation.
No worries.
You just sat there waiting. Is there anything that you want to do, either Tommy or Nix?
I'm going to say to Nixios,
you know, Mr. Nixios, it's real drab in here, real grey. Everything's cold and hard and metal, and I'm used to the green and the bounty of my home in the bayou, and I was wondering, do you think it'd be okay if I brighten the place up a little?
You're going to decorate the place with cheese?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Cheese is for eating, not for decorating. I'm talking, and I'm going to reach into my sack. I'm going to pull out my favourite brush and some paints. And go, I'm a bit of a painter, see. I was wondering if I'd be able to, make it look a little nicer in here for me and for you. I believe we're sharing the room.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
Great, that's fantastic, Mr. Nixios. That's amazing. And one other thing, do you know the man, the tall man with the hair? You know, the shepherd of souls? You know him?
Space Raster.
It's Space Raster? Yeah, something like that.
Yes, he's another resident of this ship.
Is he here? Is he nearby? Because I'd like to meet him again, you see, because I believe I was meant to meet him and to be brought here, and I wondered if he knew why, because I sure don't.
Well, I'll radio him as well and see if he will come along when.
No.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same principle, guys. So we can arrange a meeting between Jan and Tommy Lee, but for incidental reasons, for whatever reason, Jan is busy at this moment, and he will arrange a meeting for you tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got a couple of meetings set up between the two cells. But like I say, because of the way I've done it, we're just going to have to postpone that for a little bit, okay?
Totally understand that. I just wanted to make a point of saying.
No problem.
One question, Al. I think I asked this last time, but I can't remember. Have I got all my inventory? Have I got my weapons and everything?
You've got all your inventory, yes.
Yeah.
You've got your weapons. I mean, you're no threat to anyone, Tommy.
No, I know. I've got to say, another thing, Miss Nixios, I can't help but notice that all the other bow folk I seen on the ship, they were all locked up like them fools over there. But I'm allowed out here, and I'm going to draw my revolver, and I've been allowed to keep my gun. It just seems a little strange to me that everyone else is locked up and I'm roaming free. And don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining to nothing. It's just, it's real confusing right now. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Well, Tommy, you came with your own free will.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is it, these folks not coming on free will then?
I suspect not. No. Like everybody in this cell was basically bored.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Indentured
You know,
servitude. I understand. But just one thing, Nixios. I mean, I know a couple of these folk. You know, like I recognize a couple of them. I've seen them around, and Cleetus, he seems like he seems like a decent guy. I mean, you know, I bought a drink off him once, which in my book is, splendid. But the other guy, the guy who was talking about his nails, I mean, what's your opinion of him?
what's my opinion about any of you guys? I don't know.
I mean, let's not beat around the bio shop here.
Get used to each other.
It's just, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, he's bad or he's good or he's anything really. It's just, I mean, I bought that man's loyalty with cheese back there, and you know, don't you think that's a little strange that a man was so easily? I mean, I know he said he believes in me and all that, but I mean, I was just shining him on between me and you, and he was willing to just jump on board with me just over some cheese. How'd you find the cheese, by the way, Mr. Nixios?
That's some powerful cheese you've got there, Tom.
Good cheese. Really, it's the best cheese. Bio cheese. Oh, you're always the best.
Yeah, time will tell if everybody here can find work on the ship or not.
Yeah, I struck the house out of my legs, but my fingernails still ache. So what? What's the
dead, eh?
Sorry, say again. I spoke over you then.
So I don't know about Luke, but surely it's better smeg than dead.
Yeah, I suppose so. So what's the crack here now? Do we just sit there and eat from time to time? Or,
Well, I'm hoping that everybody here can be turned into a military unit, which will benefit the Inquisitor and encourage him to keep you all around.
Military unit, you say? I mean, that's old Tommy Lee. He's wait, what? Go back to the keep around thing. What if what's the alternative to that?
Well, you know, it's in your best interests to be useful to the Inquisitor. It's in all of our best interests to be useful to the Inquisitor. You know, a man with his kind of power doesn't keep unnecessary things around for very long.
No, we can be useful. We can be useful. Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole. You said the word military, and like I envision soldiers and fighting and things. And don't get me wrong, old Tommy Lee, he can put up a good old fight when he needs to. But I won't say I was exactly a military personnel type. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not strictly military myself. I just seems to have been the way things are going. Quite frankly, I'm a historian of sorts.
You know things? You know things about the past?
Yes. You know things, I believe, on an instinctual level. Yeah.
Well, I'm an instincty man. Yeah.
That you're born with, whereas, you know, my talents have been earned through schooling over time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess could say I can be a little bit of an instinky man sometimes. I don't get much chance to wash down in the bayou, but I tries my best. But yeah, I know things, and you know the past, and sometimes I know what's to come. Between us, we just got the present missing.
Yes, quite.
I mean, I'm not trying to be deep on nothing. That's just the first thing that came into my head. Sometimes I say things and, you know, don't really think them through.
Well, Tommy, I think between all of us, I think we all have something to share with the group.
My fingers crunch under sparkly chips.
Expertise.
So, do you wanna? I left a little bit of my cheese and my paste. It's a bit too much for me. You want some of it?
There's about a third of a bowl of paste with cheese.
I'll take it to the. If you don't want it anymore, we'll. I'm sure
no.
Dre will enjoy any extra food and sustenance that we can.
I'm done. I'm more than full. I've never eaten so much in a single day before. You boys on this very bland ship, you sure do get spoiled when it comes to sustenance.
See if any of your other teammates want some. Yeah, 33 doesn't.
Hey.
Okay, so I just want to leave you two there for a sec, while you decide what to do with your cheesy paste. And I'm going to come back to Cleetus, who's talking through the vent to his fellow lizardman, and you can smell there's a lizardman on the other side of this, and you've been able to hear bits of the interchanges that have gone on. So because your cell's right next to his, and you've got the air vents, and the cell doors are not like solid blocks. There's just bars on them, so you could hear the interchanges which went on with the lizardman before in the last session, if you recall any of that.
Okay.
So you can talk through the vent, or you could also maybe talk around the doors to one another, but either would work.
I'll be like, hey, Luke, man like me in there, you from Bayou.
You know, you've heard his name is Luke, so you do know his name.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, you there, ma?
And you hear a noise, of a movement in the cell beside you, and then you hear Luke speak, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm here."
Right.
You're Cleetus, ain't it?
Yeah, Luke, I'm Cleetus. You smell like lizardman like me.
Yeah, surely do. I taste the air. I can tell another one of my own.
Yes, you one of reptiles bastards.
I surely am, of course. I'm sure there ain't a single lizard man in all the bayou who don't trace some of his blood from old reptile.
Yeah,
but surely one of his too. Surely he's surely a bastard too.
Yeah,
That reptile,
I reckon I am.
He got around a bit.
Well, yeah, I reckon I am. It's
So I mean,
it's
we
just
need to stick together.
You know what? Stick together. I reckon we need to do as we're told at the moment.
Well,
heads can go flying, man.
What do you make of these folk?
I don't know. I've got hots for the one who came in the cell with me. I think
you're definitely one of the reptiles then if you're thinking we're a dick.
Well, he ain't had naught to do with me.
Oh well, he didn't have much to do with many of us.
Yeah,
nobody got the time to look
claimed
after
to be
all
my
his
father. Mama, she never spoke to me either. So,
you're not
Mama was pretty fucked up looking herself. To be fair.
Oh, don't talk about your mama like that.
Well,
your mama was a lovely lady.
Well, to be honest, if I was reptile, I wouldn't have.
Okay, there's an awkward silence, and you can hear the thrumming of the plasma engines as they vibrate through the ship.
Anyway, bro. What you reckon to these folk?
Well, I don't know, truth be told. I hates him if I'm honest, but then it got that Tommy Lee working for him, and I think he knows things. He knows what our path might be. So maybe he's right.
You ever drank
I am
moonshine with a
supposed to
guy?
be. No, but I
No,
heard of
I have. He says all sorts of things. I don't know if all of them are
what
true.
he says comes true, though.
Who
That's what
knows?
I
Who
heard.
knows?
I heard my daddy, he used to use him as an advisor because he knew what he said was always come true. You got to tell him which folk were loyal and which folk were traitors. And the traitors put him in the pool.
Well, Daddy sounds like a real nice chap.
Oh, so if he says we're meant to be here, maybe we are, but I'm not going to do a damn thing for these folk until I get my nails back. That's the way it is.
Hey, bro, do you have forearms too?
No, I only got the 2 arms, but they serve me pretty well.
You smell strong.
Yeah, well, not as strong as you, though, brother.
That's the cheese.
Well, they don't let you watch when you're a slave of man. They didn't even watch me when I came on board. They're not even show me no shred of water, bro.
No one need to wash. That's a myth.
I miss the river. I got taken slave while I was drunk on moonshine. Yeah, it was bad times, really. Had to mine a lot.
Oh, well, you got taken and worked in the mines, did you?
And then I got sold here as a slave.
Oh, I see. Well, for me,
what's happening in the bayou? How is it?
Happening?
Yeah, I've not heard anything.
You don't know?
I know nothing. I know of last time I saw Portula was there. It was all thriving.
Ha. So here's the way things are. These folk who you're thinking are working for, they came to the bayou and they raised it. They destroyed it with their bombs and their guns and their weapons. They brought tsunami to the bayou, swamping everything. They bombed the hell out of the family. That's what they did. That's what these folk are. There ain't no bayou to speak of. It ain't the same. These folk who are your masters, they destroyed the bayou. So many dead, women and children. And for what? They came and they took a painting. A fucking painting, man. So maybe you shouldn't be so keen to be thinking we're a dick and working for these folk quite so readily. And maybe you should think it through a bit more. Instead of you chasing the tail of that lady.
Well, you know.
We need to stick together, me and you. We need to work together.
But on the other hand, the other way to get these collars off is to work with him.
Well, maybe. There's always another way, though. There's always another way.
So then maybe we, I don't know, bro. It's. I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking survival at the moment. I've always had to survive on my own. I've not had a family to back me up like yourself. No, I've not had to ride on daddy's coattails. Had to ride on my own.
Oh, don't talk to me like that. He never gave me nothing. It was hard life working for Reptile. Don't you think I've been riding on no coattails?
Well,
you don't know me. You don't know what you're talking about, hey?
No, I don't. But I know something with family. And it's the last bit of bayou I've got in my cell. So I don't know, bro. I'm gonna try to survive. I hope you do too.
Well, we'll see. I told that Nix guy I died on that planet. He took everything. They took everything from me. They slaughtered my kin. You know Reptile's dead, right? These folk killed him.
Well, maybe it's time to be reborn as a new family.
Yeah, maybe that's what Maybe Tommy Lee knows what's coming.
He can't be all that bad. I trust old Tommy Lee for some reason.
He's a
But
trustworthy guy, right?
he does babble shit when he's had a few too many moonshines, I'll tell you. He tells you all sorts of things. Like, all sorts of things.
Okay, there's a chime at the door. Bing bong.
Okay.
And
I'll go and see who it is.
And you see at the door, Nixios, it's Dr. Festus Bucket. The stormtroopers look at you, to see whether they should let him in.
Yes, please, Lux.
Okay. And Dr. Festus Bucket comes in. He's carrying a large, what looks to be like a large suitcase. Dr. Bucket goes, hello. This is nice. How's it been going, Mr. Roth?
Well, I think old Nick here with the 3 arms and Cleetus with the 4 arms, I think they might be ready to help you assist. I think the other 2 guys might need a bit longer to come to terms with where they are and a new situation.
Them 2 gonna be real handy.
Oh no.
You did it. You went there.
Okay. So Dr. Festus comes in and he heads up to the door and he says, will one of you let me in? Oh, by the way, Tommy, I see where you've put yourself at the minute. You can't open this door.
Oh, okay.
Tommy. Or you try to. What it's got a hand reader, and you've seen the others use it. But when you put your hand on the reader, it just goes. So you don't have authority to open the outer cell door. And this door, unlike the inner doors, is solid. It's all solid, and it looks real sturdy as well. So, and there's no vents or anything leading out in between the outer room and the inner cell.
Okay.
So the doctor says, "Would you let us in, and I shall start the process."
Is that it? Right, where's he going to?
See if you look at the map, Brownie, you've got this outer room bit, which is where you and Tommy Lee live. There's this outer door, and there's a door here, which is if I ping here. Now this is key to your hand and to Courtney's hand, but Tommy Lee can't open it.
Access.
Yes, I mean, well, you might be able to change that if you want, but for whatever reason, she's been given access. So. She is a member of Cell 54, after all, one of the OG members.
Yeah, right. I'll open it up and I'll ask Nick if he would like to cooperate and give some medical samples to the doctor.
And Nick looks up and goes, I surely will. I told you I'm ready to prove myself, and I'm willing to show that I can be trusted.
Thank you, Nick. Most appreciated.
And Dr. Festus Bucket comes in, and he starts running a number of tests upon Nick. Nixios, you've seen this before. Some of the tests are similar to what he did before he put you in the cryo coffin. On your way out here, so so he runs some tests on Nick and he takes some samples, but one of the most severe things he does towards the end of the process is he takes out this very large oversized syringe. He asks Nick to turn around and he gives him what he calls an epidural, and he starts to take an injection into Nick's spine, it looks like. Nick takes this valiantly, and he takes some sort of spinal fluid sample, but it looks horribly painful.
Not really necessary, Doctor.
I mean, do I tell you how to fly a ship? And under his breath, he mutters something.
While this is occurring, I'm stood with my bowl of paste and cheese, and I'm just going to mutter to myself,
4 souls locked in a cell. Who would this paste and cheese serve well?
and I'm just going to ponder. I'm just going to ponder the 4 prisoners.
So, Brady, was that a test to see whether you think this is?
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll that.
You passed the poetry test.
It's beyond me.
You do recognise that Dr. Festus Bucket is perhaps further along the path of medicine than you are, and so maybe there's a perfectly good reason he needs samples of spinal fluid.
Oh,
Who are you to judge? You get your point back. Very good. So Festus Bucket takes samples off of Nick. So one of the 4 prisoners has been sampled, and then Dr. Bucket comes out again. He goes, "So you say this lizardman will be helpful, will he? He'll consent to the process, will he?"
You're next, Cleetus. Would you like to prove cooperation?
Yeah, I do.
And Dr. Bucket turns to Nix and he says, "Are you sure this one doesn't look especially safe?"
Well, I'm not entirely sure either of the other 2 are either. At least this way we've got half of the samples that you need, Doctor.
Okay, well...
I'll assist.
Okay, very well then. So he heads into the room with you, Cleetus. And
Cleetus jumps up onto his feet as the doctor approaches him. See what reaction the doctor has. Does the doctor jump?
He does. He flinches. He jumps back a step.
I say, where do you want me, doctor?
Joker, Doctor.
What was that, James? Sorry?
This one's a real doctor, a real Joker, Doctor.
Okay, and what are you doing, Tommy Lee, while this is all going? Have you decided on where to send your paste and cheese? Have you been inspired yet?
I'm watching the process that Dr. Festus is carrying out at the minute. I haven't yet had my inspiration.
Okay, so Dr. Festus Bucket, he starts by taking out a medical auspex and scanning Cleetus with it, but you don't really know what this device does or what the scan entails, nor do you, Cleetus. It just looks like
what are you doing, doctor?
He goes, don't
you, doctor, what are you doing?
Don't you worry, I'm just doing some initial scans.
Is it magic? Are you gifted?
Magic? I'm a medical doctor. I don't do magic, although they say sometimes that I am a wizard.
They never say that.
You're gifted.
Who says that?
I am gifted. Lots of people say no.
Mr. Bucket, what is your name, doctor?
My name is Dr. Festus Bucket.
Well, Mr. Bucket, when I'm at this cell,
he puts hands out his pudgy little hand to shake.
I will take my bigger hand.
Your bigger hand.
Yes, my top hands are slightly bigger.
Are they? So your lower hands are slightly smaller. Is that right?
Only by about 2 millimeter.
Okay. Okay, so you offer him one of your bigger hands.
You know what they say? You know what they say about a man with smaller bottom hands?
It's got a small bottom.
It's a well-known saying, isn't it?
For cooking his own buttocks.
That's it. That's what we're talking for.
No, I'll shake him with a lower bottom, actually.
Okay, so I mean.
No. Instead, I'll prefer my tail. I'll off my tail and then shake that.
Okay, so you're offering.
The tail will just sit straight into his hand.
Okay, so he shakes your tail up and down, but he does look somewhat perplexed by this manoeuvre. Well, yes, now that we've had civilities exchanged, perhaps we can proceed with the process.
Of course, Doctor. You be gentle with me now.
Yeah, I shall be mostly gentle, and there shall be very little pain. Apart from the epidural, that will hurt a lot.
A P. I don't know what that is.
No,
Just get on with it, Doctor.
Yes, we'll just get on with it, shall we?
Well, I mean, no, I'm sorry,
Please
Doctor.
sit
Pretend
down,
to
would
be.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, well, I shall be as
Sit
gentle as I
down.
can be. Would you please sit down? Okay, so you sit down, and he brings out a claw hammer, and he starts to tap it on your knee just to check for reflexes. And your reflexes are very good. And he goes, "Oh yes, that's very good. That's very good. Just make a toughness test, please, Cleetus."
No. Not toughness.
Okay, yeah, so you don't flinch in pain.
Wow.
He pulls out. He gets a magnifying glass. He kind of sticks it on his eye, and he starts to look into your eyes. And he holds up a little light, shines into your eyes, and he says, "Just follow the light. Follow the light. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, everything seems to be in order." And then he starts to pull out a small syringe. May I have your arm, please?
Which one?
Oh, I mean, I suppose one is as good as another.
So I'll pass him. What about what about my work tabs?
One of you what? Sorry.
the top right.
The top right. Okay, and he takes a a sample of blood. Okay, and there's very little pain as he takes a sample of blood. He says, "Now this is the bit that may be slightly painful. Please turn around, would you, and face the wall."
Okay, I do as he says.
Okay, so he takes out a much larger syringe, and this time he goes for a sample out of the spine. Okay, and this is excruciatingly painful. There's a jab in the back of his spine, and it's incredibly painful.
Okay, I will take it like a lizard man.
Take a look. Okay, you take it slowly. Make a toughness test, Sam.
Take it like a lizard man. Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you don't flinch, and he takes some sort of sample, and he goes, "Ah, well, that all went very well, didn't it?" Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cleetus. Yes, quite, and I shall be seeing you again soon for more.
Hey, Mr. Bucket.
Yes, Dr. Bucket.
Dr. Bucket. How about you join me some moonshine when I get free of this colour, no?
Join you with some moonshine? I don't understand your peasant language, I'm afraid.
I think he wants to drink with you, Doctor.
Oh yes, we could have a yes. Let's have a drink one day in the future.
Okay, Doctor. Thanks for causing me excruciable pain. But see you later for a drink.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so Dr. Festus now has samples out of 2 of the 4. And while this is going on, I just want to check in on Courtney and after that, Tommy Lee. So Courtney, you've headed back to your chambers.
Yep.
And here you are, back in your chambers. You feel comfortable and cozy.
I'm gonna look in the drawers for all the cupboards for some sort of blanket and some extra spare pillows.
You've got loads of pillows, Courtney. I mean, you've just got them lying around. You've got a couple of very fluffy pillows there on the chaise longue. You've got 2 on your bed. You could spare one of them. There's, you've got a multitude of bedding. You've got an excess of bedding and pillows there in your room.
Okay, I'm going to take one of the pillows that's unwashed with my scent on it, because that's probably what there's more into.
Okay.
And I'm going to take that to, and then I'm going to take a blanket or a cushion as well for his feet. He might off one of these things, and then I'm going to take them down. And then there's if there's some sort of blanket or something like that, something soft.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I say, you've got an excess of bedding, so you can find a cushion, a pillow, and a blanket here.
Yeah, I'll do that then, and then head back.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so you do that and you head back. So that's fairly straightforward. What about Tommy Lee? What were you doing whilst the medical process was occurring?
I sent you a message on Facebook Messenger first of all, Al. And I've watched the process that Cleetus has been through. I watched Nix from afar, and I've moved a bit closer for Cleetus's. I'm going to, when the process is finished, I'm going to hold the bowl of paste and cheese out to Cleetus, and just go,
Take half, Cleetus.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Much appreciated.
and then I'm going to turn to Dr. Bucket. I'm going to go,
You were Sawbones, yeah?
I don't know what that means.
You make people well when they ain't so well.
I mean, I have sword bones, but I wouldn't say I am a sore bones.
Ain't we all? But you make people better, yeah?
Sometimes my aching bones do get a little sore in the cold of night.
Got a little animal friend, yeah? That true?
But how would you know that?
I'm getting a name. Kara.
Oh, yes. My beloved Kara, yes, but how could you possibly know that? There's no way that you could know that.
She's devoted to you. No. She's fickle. Her heart belongs to another now. Someone braver than you, a real hero. While you cowered and wrung your hands in your place of blood and disease, he saved your precious Kara, and now she's his.
and I'm just going to walk off.
Bucket looks at the one and goes, No, that I'm sure that isn't true. She loves me very much. I'm sure that isn't true at all. And he wanders off in a huff towards Nixios and goes, well, I've had samples from 2 of them, so you think that the other 2 are not safe to sample? Is that?
Yeah, I couldn't really guarantee your safety, Doctor.
Oh, no, well, I do want my safety guaranteed. Yes, so I shall head back to the medical bay for now until you can improve upon things with these other mutants.
As soon as I can guarantee compliance, I'll call you, Doctor.
Okay, so the Doctor heads off. And like I say, in this inner room, all the cells, like I say, have bars on the doors, and there's vents in between them, so that you can kind of overhear a little bit. And it seems like 3366 has heard some of that interchange, because he shouts to you, Nix, and he goes, "Boy, Mr. Nix, boss, can I have a word, like?"
Of course, 33. How can I help?
You head over to him, and he says to you, I can't help but think that we got off on the wrong foot, so to speak. I was sorry I lost my temper.
All right, big man.
It's just they haven't been feeding me properly since got on this ship. Give me a couple of portions of that paste a day. It's not enough. You see, it's not enough. It's nowhere near enough.
Well, what do you think would be enough, 33?
Well, I mean, how long's a piece of string? But, I mean, when it comes to that paste, I mean, I could probably get through quite a bit of it, if I'm honest. But yeah, but what it is at the minute, it's nowhere near enough. It's basically starvation rations. Now, if you can get me onto proper rations, you can you can sort that out, then yeah, I'll consider working for you. I can make myself useful, as long as it's hitting things.
Well, yes, I can assure you it will be hitting things, and I can tell you're going to be very good at it.
Okay, so Tommy, you hand the rest of the food to Nick. And there we go. So everyone's fed up there. And so Courtney, you return.
Okay. I'm going to put the, I'm just going to put my hand on the door and then, where's my avatar?
Sorry?
Yeah, so I'm just moving on there. Put my hand on the thing, go, housekeeping. And then just come in with a blanket and pillow and stuff as well.
Cleetus is smiling.
Here you go. This one, this.
You are an angel, I say. An angel.
Well, I just want to make you comfortable. Like I say, I think you've got a lot of potential, which I'd like to exploit in a good way.
Well, you treat me good like this, Missy. You can exploit me all you want.
Are you going to come to regret those words, Cleetus?
Probably. Probably. But Cleetus is just happy that he's got a bed in now.
Okay, yep. So it looks quite luxurious as well. It's probably finer bedding than you've ever seen in your life, Cleetus. And even better, it smells faintly of Courtney.
Smells so good.
Yeah, I want to get this guy bonded to me as quick as possible, so that he's basically loyal.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go for a slash, get myself a drink,
No worries.
and we shall carry on.
No problem.
Obviously, there is the potential that he could just snap my neck when I'm not looking, but I'm going to take that chance.
I've designed him a bit different to other mutants, to be fair. I haven't buffed it all in strength and toughness. I've got massively on his weapon skill and agility.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a pro ninja man.
That's cool.
He's a climbing, jumping, hopping, pumping, jumping, climbing, slithering, withering ninja.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what I've done with him. So, I could have gone for the extra buffs on toughness and stuff, but I didn't want to lose the agility because it's not what I had planned for him. So,
no, I'm looking forward to utilizing his particular skills, particular set of skills.
You got a filthy mind, Miss Courtney.
How would you? Oh yeah, I know how you know, because I know that you know things that I sometimes know things too, but in a different way.
But I know that you know that you know things sometimes in a different way too.
Did you know that? I did know that. Yeah.
Wants a house with a yard and a white picket fence.
Ah.
I can hear a cat. You're gonna have to excuse me just 1 minute.
Well, I'm going to go and stand in this corner because I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just going to stand in the corner and.
What, of Cleetus' room?
Yeah, I'm just going to stand in the corner and just.
Cleetus is wrapped up in his bedding at the moment. He's really happy he's got a pillow.
She's going to.
Still thanking you.
She's just going to sit in the corner like that and just look at you, observe you. But so what is it that you back on in the bayou? What is it that you specialised in?
Well, I have a couple of skills too. To be fair, my lady, I'm a bit of a cutthroat, killer for hire, and also I sell moonshine to the willing and peddle my goods around. Perfect course, moonshine hitman, lady, moonshine hitman. That was my job.
You brew your own liquor, Cleetus.
What's moonshine?
I certainly can. I can brew it as long as you get me, some stuff so I can distill something. I need a heated chamber, a few pap, a couple of bottles. I'll be able to flow through.
That could be used to trade with the others. That might also bring us some kind of good.
But I'd be quite happy to start that for you, but as long as you'd be quite happy to trust me and take this thing off my neck eventually, because I really hate it. It itches. I don't like the fact that I've got TNT strapped to my neck.
Yeah, go on. Go on, Nixios. I think this
I'll behave myself.
Right.
Honestly, where am I going to go on a spaceship in the stars, which is mind-bogglingly big, like this room? Where am I going to go? I can't think of any place I'm going to go, to be honest. I just want to make a bit of a living here and start working.
Well, that's the winning attitude that will get you far. It's worked for me.
No reason why I shouldn't. Because after all, if I could brew moonshine and get me to kill people, that's just like normal life to me. It's what I'm good at.
I think you could prove yourself very useful indeed.
But hey, Pillow, I've completed my first quest.
Well done. I'm going to mark one of your side quests complete.
Yeah.
Acquire a pillow.
I went the extra mile and I got bedded too. I should get an A-star on that because we got comfy, luxurious bedding.
It's true.
It wasn't just any normal style of bedding.
It's good going.
Side quest. Pillow.
I don't do side quests. I just shoot from the hip. Shoot from the hip every time.
Okay.
How I roll.
Okay, so the good doctor has gone. Courtney's returned. Are you all just milling around currently in the cell area for now? Or what's
if you want to let me out the cell, I'll mill around a bit more.
I'm going to.
I don't know about the collar at the moment. I'm not sure I have the authority to remove those, but I'll let Nick and Cleetus out of their cells.
Okay, so
seeing as you guys have been good and cooperated with the good doctor,
so let's just get a few things clear up. So this door here, and this door here, you now letting it be open, so they've got access to the outer compound. So this door here in the middle, this one's key to your hand and to Courtney's hand. So there's no, and also it closes automatically. So if you want to let them out, either you or Courtney has to allow them out. So these other doors, which I've marked in red, you can leave them open all the time. But if anyone who is not Courtney or Nick's
GM layer, the marks in red ones. I can't see it. You might have it on a different layer. Yeah, I can't see anything marked in red.
I can see them.
Or maybe my computer hasn't updated.
Yeah, they're definitely there on the object layer.
See red.
It's on the object layer. It's just probably me haven't updated. My connection's a bit shit tonight. Kids are in bed again around 7 and 9. That's why I'm doing this off my phone at the moment, so you can all still hear me.
So
anyway,
the other thing is, Nix, is that you can below the collars. You can also disconnect them using your data pad. Now, whether you want to do that or not, that's up to you. But you do have the authority and the control to remove the collars if needs be.
Good.
Okay. So you've opened these two doors, and Nix he heads out and he just starts to stroll around, just because it's good to get out of his cell and to have a little bit more freedom. And so he starts to walk around. And he comes up to you, Nix, and he says, "Now I got a request to make you, boss, if you don't mind."
Of course, Nick. What is it?
Well, you know that I'm a handyman, that I'm a builder by trade. Now, one thing I don't have any longer is my tools. if I'm ever to make anything again, then tools are what I need, and building materials. Just something, I know, maybe like a block of wood, let me do a little bit of whittling, something like that. These sort of tools will just let me keep myself occupied. I go and stir crazy in that cell with nothing to do. I just want something to keep me something to do with my time.
Well, I'd like to figure out what Cleetus needs for moonshine and what Tommy needs to manufacture cheese, and we'll see about.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can make cheese out of all kinds of things. Mostly milk from the animal. Of course, that would be the most sensible place. You got any aminals?
This is a good point, actually. I don't know where we can possibly get something like that on the ship. We'll see what I can requisition, but I doubt there's any kind of fresh dairy on the ship, is there?
Well, I mean, so you've had you've had, what do I call it? You've had, okay, here's what you've had. You've had hydrogenated vegetable fats, which is. You've also had butter at least once. You've had re-cream at least once. You've had re-cheese at least once. So, it's what your impression is, Nixios, is that there is dairy on board the ship, but it's a rare treat that's only given out to some of the higher-ranking crew members like yourself, and not to the general staff.
Right. Well, I'll let Tommy know that on a ship, anything other than paste is going to be hard to get hold of, but we'll do our best.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I ain't a real cheese maker as such. I just eats it. But I think maybe if I had a supply of animal milk and the means to make it, I think I could maybe make some if people are interested. I can't guarantee the quality because this ain't gonna be real bio cheese, of course.
You can only get real bio cheese in the bio. Everyone knows that.
Maybe we could make ship cheese. What's the name of this ship again?
Malevolent cheese.
Yeah, I don't think we should make malevolent cheese. Maybe we call it Tommy Lee cheese. No, that ain't no better neither. Maybe we should make a brand name and make our own cheese. I mean, it's always real cheeses.
It's kind of crazy, but I think I think there's going to be a market for those kind of things, and that may help us. To trade on the ship, moonshine and cheese. I think the rest of the crew might.
I can tell you what I need. I can tell you right now. I need 3 essential pieces of distillation equipment to carry out my process. I need a reboiler or pot I use to heat the source of my liquid. I need a condenser where the heat vapor is cooled and back into liquid state. And then I need a receiver flask, the device into which the concentrated distillate is collected.
And I'll tell you what I need too. I need some sort of device where I could maybe ask you questions about what I would need to be able to make a certain thing. And if there was such a device on board, that would be Googleicious.
Yeah, but the answer's there, boss.
Sorry, I used a little bit of bio slang there. Not everyone's going to be on right now.
I was going to totally make up how to make cheese.
Look, man, that was on-board research. I had to do it.
Well, you would know if you were a moonshine.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
You know what you need, and it is obvious that you're reading from.
It was just funny. It's really funny.
I thought I'd do it. I thought I'd go there.
You do know what you need, obviously, because it's a proficiency to you. So that's all well and good. So you do know what you need. And I do think obviously you would need, Hayden would be some kind of it's like normally vegetable mash of some kind, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like you need a mash. It's like I think sugar and vegetables or fruit or something.
Sugar and vegetables are used. something.
Yeah. I think you can make it from all sorts of things, can't you, Moon?
Mashed vegetable, mashed yeast and sugar, basically.
there
Mashed
was
yeast and sugar.
I hear there was a big fight on the planet lately, down back on home. Maybe the doctor in his infirmary's got a few vegetables left over from that war, Maybe a few folk with shell shock and that sort of thing.
Well, I don't think the Bayou folk would find that quite as funny as you, Chris.
I wasn't worried about Bayou folk at all. Anyone with a bit of brain damage is going to be good, To mash him up a little.
No.
Well, there was something I just wanted to say to Courtney. So everyone can feel there's like a thrumming of the plasma engines that goes throughout the entire ship. So the whole ship has this kind of a low vibration that you can feel as the ship is moving forward under propulsion.
Yeah.
Well, as a psyker, you can also tell that the ship is currently at warp. So that's something that just something that instinctually any psyker would know.
Yeah.
There's kind of a keening sound almost that you can hear on the edge of your edge.
Any class?
Perception. Yeah. Okay. So it's like it's just so you can tell that the ship is at warp currently, in the warp.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So yeah, it's just a little something I wanted to say. I meant to say it earlier and I forgot.
No problem.
Okay. Can one of y'all kind of folk let me out of this door? I can't seem to open it. It keeps making this noise at me.
Yeah, I think it's only me and Courtney that can open that door.
Yeah.
Excuse me, miss. I'm
going to open it.
Okay, you open the door. It slides open. So there's now a brief window of time when anyone can pass through to the outer room. And then shortly after, it will close again automatically. Okay, Nick stays in. Are you heading out of the room, Cleetus, as per your token? Is that what you're doing?
No, what's that?
Just checking with you.
I was just impulse.
They do actually have a... Yeah, go on then. Let's let Cleetus and Nick out and show them the outside facilities.
Okay, you let Nick out and he goes, "Oh, my, it's nice out here. Look at these.
a bit cold, though.
It surely is. Anything we can do about that? Maybe we ought to have a fire or something. You got anything?
I was asking about...
I reckon same thing. Maybe we should have fire, because I find mine cold on this ship too.
Yeah, mighty bonfire. We can get
many of you chaps don't light a fire.
Oh, don't light a fire.
The ship controls the
temperature
life support systems, and it's very kindly to light a fire.
All right, okay, no fire then, okay,
No
but
fire.
it is surely too cold in here. I mean, I don't know how you can stand it.
Well, yeah, I agree. I'm just basically in some prisoner rag slave outfit, and walking around with jackets and coats and tops. Where do you get these jackets, coats, and tops from?
Very hot planet. I was born to a ship in the void, so I'm kind of used to it.
I like your t-shirt, Johnny.
A ship was your mother? That's real weird.
Oh no, another person was my mother, but I was born inside the ship.
Another
like a parasite.
Huge space-going vessels.
Like a worm in a stomach, that sort of thing.
I had one of them. I had one of them worms a while back.
You had to pull it out of you,
Yeah, you know. You had
yeah,
too.
we all had them back then. There was a spade where there was all sorts of things crawling up inside your ass when you weren't looking.
you couldn't walk for those ass worms.
Ass worms all over the goddamn bio back in those days.
Plenty gives and the plenty surely takes.
It certainly took something from me. And it gave me something too.
A worm in the ass.
At this point, I'm going to whip out my paints and paintbrush.
Okay.
I'm going to begin painting. I'm going to start to paint. I'm going to take some time doing this. I'm going to not do it all in one go. I'm going to start painting a little mural on the back wall between the two beds.
Okay.
going to replicate a little bayou scene, make it look a little more like home. You know, just a little bit of swampland, a couple of little trees, some bushes, things like that.
Okay, so you want to do
Cool.
a mural like down here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a little painting down here. Okay, cool. So Tommy Lee starts to paint, and Nick comes up and he sits down on this chest and he watches you paint. Okay. So Tommy Lee's doing that. What's everyone else doing?
Well-
I think I've got anything to join in with. I need to requisition these guys some bits and bobs. What can I get? What can I get for Nick?
I'm being like a bayou Bob Ross right now. It's just gonna have a little fun with a little fluffy cloud up here and just paint a little green on top of the stalk of that tree right there. You know, don't matter if you ain't no good. You just enjoy.
Courtney's going to grab the.
Can I
Sorry,
try?
Courtney's going to grab the blanket out of Cleetus' room and then follow and then go after Cleetus.
Can I try and copyist something that Cleetus does? Cleetus that Tommy does.
So just hold on a sec. So just one time. So Courtney, what are you doing? You taking the blanket out of Cleetus' room?
Yeah, just bring it with her, and then because I want to show him around the ship, I'm going to use it to go. Just put this over your head and tuck your arms in, and then we can see you around the ship.
Do you think Cleetus should leave the area?
I don't know. It's like maybe the best way to build trust.
It's a security risk.
Or a great way to build trust. But yeah, I mean,
It's times like this when I'm really glad that I've given Brownie rank here.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like, incredibly glad, and it seems the only choice.
Oh, please.
Absolutely not. We don't know how the rest of the crew is going to take to them yet. Let's wait until.
Okay, so Nixios, I'm not even going to ask you to make an intelligence test here. What I'm going to say to you, Nixios, is you think it's a dreadful, woeful idea to take out Lizard and Cleetus dressed in a blanket around the ship.
Yeah.
You think it's a recipe for Cleetus being discovered, and the fact that we've got mutant slaves on board, you think will spread through the crew like wildfire, and you know people are gossips. You know, as soon as anything like this comes out, the whole ship will know it in no time.
Yeah.
So you think it's quite unwise to do as Courtney suggests.
All right, she's just gonna put the blanket to him. Put this round yourself. It's not as warm as it is down there. Down there in the bayou. There you go.
4 steps, Courtney.
I mean, look. She's just gonna look at. I mean, look at him. Look at him. He's harmless. You know what I mean? He's harmless. He just wants to acclimatise himself to his surroundings. Anyway, you're the boss. But yeah, like this is Nixios' chambers, I suppose.
We have to consider the rest of the crew, Courtney. We're in a very precarious position. I'm not sure any of the rest of the crew are ready to know about these chaps yet.
Okay, no problem. Just gonna look at
We are on an Inquisition ship, and this is pretty radical by anybody's standards.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Okay, so I would like you, Tommy Lee, please, to make a trade artist roll. And you're going to make several of these, but I'd like you to make one to see how you get started with your painting. To answer your earlier question, James, you could use the copy skill to copy what Tommy Lee did. You don't really have any artistic skill yourself, but you think you could replicate things quite readily using copyist if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It would be that on parchment or using paint itself, but there's probably a bit of a knack. There's obviously going to be a bit of art, like artistic license in what he does, so you could try and copy it, but how accurately be able to copy it will be down to your skill roll.
I'm going to try and fate point that, Al, because I've absolutely ruined that.
Okay.
I do not. I lose my fate point.
Okay, so that's terribly, terribly unfortunate. So as you watch Tommy Lee's painting Nixios, and you wonder whether you should copy it, you do also wonder whether he's an artist at all. Yeah, it's questionable, or is he just a enthusiastic amateur? Yeah, I mean, he said he was an artist, but I mean, does anything this guy say make any sense? Does any of it mean anything? Was it all just a spiel of nonsense? Does he really know things, or you don't think he knows how to paint very well by the looks of it?
Just,
Right.
You gotta start somewhere. It might not look like much now, but you just let me work a little magic in here, some happy little clouds and things like that. It'll all be good.
Well, you can always paint over it again, can't you, Tommy?
Once it's committed to the work, it should never be erased or done over. You just gotta go with it and feel your way into it. A true artist accepts his mistakes as much as he does his, what's the other word? Successes. Can you tell what it is yet?
No.
Oh, man.
No, you cannot tell what it is yet.
Even Tommy Lee can't tell what it is.
Toast. Oh, so Grox. Grox. What is it? That fucking. Oh, don't matter. I can't remember for the safe word.
Quiche is
Quiche is the safe word. Yeah.
We don't need the safe word. Sure.
No, it's just a bad painting.
I was on about the Rolf Harris referral.
Oh, I see. Rob Harris is into with you now.
I thought Rolf Harris was a quiche word.
Not Rolf. Say it isn't true.
I think I wanted to be part of his cartoon club as well. It's like it's
A friend of
quite
mine went on Jim Will Fix It. There you
Did
go.
he?
Got his
Really?
badge and everything.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he
What
Got his
else?
child molestation badge, like he was in Cub Scouts.
That's so much what
Oh, bless him.
Did Jim fix him?
Where he's
Right.
bent until he was 15. Not saying those two things are associated, but
I was in Rob's cartoon club for a time.
Was it?
That was
Cool.
similar, I think.
Two little boys had two little toys.
Okay.
Is that what he was singing at the time? The man.
it's all a bit creepy. What are we doing?
There's a low thrumming of the plasma engines. You can hear the little brush strokes of Tommy Lee. Courtney has put a blanket around Cleetus.
Oh, thank you. This be a good blanket.
Oh, it's one of mine. But you can have it.
Oh, smells lovely.
Oh, no, thank you. She's just gonna be like, ah! And then she's gonna whisper to him, like, "Don't worry, I'll get you out. I'll get you out of this. I'll get you out of this. I'll get you out of this hellhole." But he doesn't hear me.
We heard back from Jess yet.
It's nearly every time.
Sorry, my dog was talking to me at the same time. Then,
No worries.
what was he saying?
It's too late now. It's gone forever.
Oh, oh no. Oh well.
That felt good to do that. It was, It was vital, something vital. But
Okay.
we'll
Never
never know.
know.
So your secondary, you've just foiled your secondary objective.
Soiled my secondary objective. Oh no.
Foiled it, yeah.
Oh, this blanket's lovely.
Well,
that's where I was before.
Yeah.
It
it is a lovely blanket that was, it was, yeah, it's a lovely blanket. It's usually something that she throws on, wraps herself in sometimes from time to time.
Oh, that smells lovely. Smells like witch sweat, which is great.
It's a unique scent. Very unique. Smells like the rainbow. But yeah. So
I'm gonna pop out my wooden teeth, put them in my sack, and I'm gonna take out my hourglass and just put it on top of the crate. I'm not happy with my painting, so I'm gonna take that hourglass out of the sack, put it on the crate at the end of my bed, just turn it and just sit on the edge of the bed and watch the sand run through it for a moment.
Very good.
And while that's happening, I'm gonna have a piss.
Right. Nixios, what are you doing at the moment? Let the mutants out, or some of the mutants out into the outer room. There's a bit of an awkward silence. There's the thrumming of the plasma engines.
Well, I need to go. Should maybe have a word with the interrogator.
We stay here then. Keep an eye on the acquisitions, isn't it? Our new friends.
New friends.
Our team.
There's no I in team, but there is I in Lizard Man. So
I see.
Right,
I see. Card is right behind me.
I'm gonna get
Hello.
a list of what we need to start brewing.
Okay, so you're going shopping in effect is what you're.
Yeah, I need to requisition some stuff. I'm gonna contact the Inquisitor and ask about who I requisition these bits off or order.
Okay, so what are you trying to acquire, Nixios? You want to acquire a still, is that right?
Yeah. Brewing stuff.
So you want to acquire still and some kind of vegetables or something for mash, as in enough to start making moonshine.
Yeah. I want tools and so that Nick can join in with Cleetus and craft the equipment that's needed.
Yeah, I can. Are you talking to the Inquisitor, not me? Because otherwise I can't.
At the minute, he's not talking to anyone really. He's just talking out character.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say it's like we could probably bang the distiller out of an old pot. As long as we got one with a lid, like we could do it out of a few cooking pots and just weld the tops up if we need to, and just bang a few pipes in, Bayou style.
Okay, so
you might be able to get you some proper equipment.
Oh, okay.
Something a bit more modern, less chance of blowing the ship up.
I'm sure Alexa, who we're not allowed to talk to, would be able to knock us up a distillation kit, but...
yeah, sure, I'm sure she would.
I'm sure she could.
Yeah. I'm sure she could.
But,
like I say, this is the problem I'm making, and I recognise it's not ideal, guys, but there you go.
But it doesn't matter.
I couldn't resist jumping into this group, so it's a problem of my own making. I couldn't resist. I couldn't hold off any longer.
So yeah, we could make out of all sorts of Nixios. We all we need is a couple of clean items to boil stuff and distill stuff through.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Actually, that reminds me. Actually, you've just given me a good idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the character sheet for Mr. Davenport into the Cell 54. Now that he's kind of what I'd say. I mean, he seems pretty loyal and amiable. This free-armed builder guy.
Nick Davenport, is it?
Yeah. So I'm going to add him into your group so you can all see it. How do I do that? Why can't I do that? Oh, here we go.
We can make him cut pipe.
So in Cell 54 now, you should all be able to see the character sheet of this Nick guy, and so he has various skills that he can use.
I can't see his character sheet.
Can you not? Have another look. You should be able to now.
I can see it.
So
I can only see his bio and info. I can't see his actual full character.
Okay, you can't see his okay, so all right. Oh no, that's my bad. I'll do that. Okay, why is that not right? Okay, let's try
My God, he's a scary guy.
Smith.
Very scary guy.
Okay,
I've got his character sheet.
So this guy could fashion a still out of metal, like Alexa could, as in that Alexa has the Smith skill, as does this guy. So he's got a number of trade skills which you can use towards the group, or if you wanted to try and run him in combat, you could also do that. But he's not really kitted out for that.
I'm gonna ask Nick. I say, hey, Nick, how about we shack up and use your room as a moonshine and workshop factory, eh?
He goes, I don't want my room smelling all that moonshine. It stinks. Why would you put it in your room, Mr. Lizardman?
Well, all right then, but that's okay. You can have sawdust with you.
I can help build it still, but surely I don't want to be sleeping with them smells all the day.
Yeah, fair enough. But what I said is you could bunk with me, and we could use the other one as a workshop.
Yeah, that'll work for me, I guess.
Yeah, that's no reason why we can't bunk together. We're both multi-ped. Hey, give me 3 high fives. I've never done this.
Okay, so Nick.
Okay, I suppose you have either, Nick.
I want you to make a fellowship roll, please.
Oh God, that is just something I can't do.
Then you may not get the 3 high fives at once.
Oh, okay.
What kind of witchery is that, Hayden?
Well, what am I doing? Fellowship, yeah.
Didn't know better.
You'll see when you see my fellowship input.
Okay, and he looks up and he goes, maybe we should keep our relationship professional, Mr. Lizman.
So be it. Well, I say, Nick, we'll keep our own room. I'll brew moonshine in mine.
Okay, that suits me just fine. Okay,
at least,
so... Go.
Let's say at least, Nick, we could stick to what we're good at,
Yeah, we'll stick to what we're good at. Maybe men aren't meant to touch hands in 3 places at once.
You're just a coward, Nick.
Who are you calling a coward?
Well, I got 1 extra arm than you.
Yeah,
I could even if Yeah, it
You
does.
ain't better just because you got an extra arm. No, you ain't. What,
Yeah.
5 arms to be better than you?
And I'm going to try strangling my prehensile tail while punching him in the guts.
You're going to attack Nick, okay? Well, first of all, let's roll initiative.
Just for insulting me.
I can't concentrate on my art with all this violence around me. No wonder I done fucked up my painting.
Okay, I'd like you to roll initiative, please, if you're going to attack him.
It's insulting me. Pretty
Did it?
bad. Yeah. Tell me I can't.
Tell you that you can't have 3 high fives at once.
Yeah. Actually, no. I will forgive the guy and say I'm sorry, Nick.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Heat of the moment got me, but I really wanted to do a triple high five. I've never done it in my life. I'm
just not ready to triple high five you just yet.
Well, Nick, come on, man. You left me hanging. I'm still hanging with one arm. I want a quad high five. Well, one day.
I hardly know you.
A bit.
Okay. So Nixios, you are wanting a still or components you might be able to turn into a still. You're after some vegetables or sort of mash to turn into moonshine, and you're after some tools with which to have.
And I also want to increase 33 to double rations.
Okay, and you also want to increase rations. Double rations. Okay, so your objectives are still vegetable mash, tools, and to increase rations for 3366. Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you asking on board the ship to help facilitate these things? Who you comms in?
The interrogator.
You comms into the interrogator.
Yeah.
You comms into him. What do you say?
I've got the accent down. Don't you worry about
it.
The new recruits for Cell 54, and I require some items to help with that, please.
Oh, and what is it? What you after, laddie?
Well, I'm after double rations for the big man. He's bigger than a normal person, and his compliance is best achieved through extra food. And then I've got one. I require brewing facilities. I think that will help with the 2 others.
You need. Hold on, let me get this straight, laddie. You're trying to make alcohol on board the ship.
Yes, sir.
Aye, well, I'll pretend I didn't hear that. But so here's the thing. I want to help you, laddie, but all the food on board ship is controlled by one man. Aye, we call him King Cook. It's not his real name. That's just a silly nickname that we give him. But his name is Horatio Butterfield, and he's the High Lord Chef on board this ship. He controls all matters. He controls all matters. I've told you guys this is serious business, so just don't show while I'm saying it, please. I've told you this is the most serious game of Dark Heresy you'll ever play. So, so the head chef, he's a bit of a pompous character, but he is one of the centers of power on board the ship. See, there's a few what we might call centers of power. One of them is the quartermaster himself. One is Jagannatha. One is the engineers, led by High Engineer Benny, and then there's the cook, of course, and he controls all matters pertaining to food, and so it's him you'd need to get on board. So he's just a bit of a particular character. I think if you go and speak to him and tell him of your need. But as for the distilling equipment, it's maybe best not to let him know you're trying to make alcohol. See, all the alcohol is made by the ship's engineers. all the clear on board is made by the engineers. They have monopoly on it.
Right.
So I'd maybe try and keep that on the down low. And if you do manage to make some moonshine, you will send a bit my way, won't you, lad?
Oh, I certainly will, sir.
Aye, very good, very good. So tools should be no problem. You might be able to get them at the technical workshop, the engineers, the quartermaster. There's any number of places you might be able to get a combi tool from. But the food, the extra rations, the only man who can help you there is Horace Horatio Butterfield. He'll reside down in food processing normally.
Can I
It's him you'll need to convince.
just as a thought in Nixios's head, could he change? Because there's random deaths. What if somebody had died and he could send the food that they should have had to? Could I falsify some kind of a record?
Possibly. I mean, I need to try and think about what skills required. I mean, the thing is, that's like, I get where you're coming from, and I think it's definitely possible. But whether you have the correct skills to do it, it's almost like hacking in a sense. What you're talking about here, and I'm not sure if you have the required skills. Let's have a look at what Nixios has got. I'm trying to think. I mean,
chat with Alexa when she's
okay.
I think So I'll
okay. For reasons I've already said, it's a bit tricky. I don't really want to interact with
yeah. So maybe
but it's not something you guys say you can't do. But if you want, it might be easier to get the food via another means. I mean, Alexa would probably be very well situated to do that. But like I keep saying, I've made it a bit difficult by myself. I don't really want too much interaction between you. You've got a date set with Alexa tomorrow. So you could leave it until then, or you could try and do it in another way before then.
Okay.
So let's have a look at what skills Nixios has got and whether any of those would be applicable to. No, you've got tech use, but I think let's have a look at what skills. Let me have a look at the book. Just going to consult the rule book.
Could always come tomorrow. That's it.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it might be simply easy just to try and persuade. To persuade. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying you can't do this. It's just let's have a look at what skills are required. So is it scholastic law? So there'd be security, would be one of them, I think, for getting past computer defences, and then the other one might be. Let's have a look at scholastic law. So what we got in scholastic law? Cryptology, an understanding of codes, ciphers, secret languages, numerical keys. So cryptology is another thing that might be helpful to apply here.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the skills to do what you're asking, James, would be cryptology, security, and tech use, of which you've only really got one of those.
Yes. I see. Yeah, they're all specialist skills as well, aren't they? Can't really
quite so. I mean, Alexa would be ideally suited to this sort of thing because she has a unique connection with the ship. But she's terribly busy right now. Terribly busy. She'll see you tomorrow at the arranged time.
The time of her choosing.
What about in my job with Quintius as trade?
Sorry, your job with Quintius?
Yeah, the job is the trader. Can I divert anything from there?
Okay, so now this is a good point. So you have access, you have more authority in regards to the ship trade and the ship trade assets. Now, one of the things you purchased, which is edible, is salt fish. and you've purchased a number of tons. If I have a look, you've purchased a number of tons of salt fish. You've purchased 130 tons of salt fish.
Saltfish moonshine.
This sounds a lot like misappropriation of ship's funds, and I personally would not condone such behaviour.
So, would you potentially have access to this salt fish as part of your role? The answer to that would be yes. You could potentially pinch some. Now, whether you'd want to turn that into moonshine, I don't know. I'm thinking that's probably a bad idea to make fishy moonshine. But would you be able to use the salt fish to ply the mutant with? Quite possibly.
Yeah.
So that's one avenue that you could explore.
Thank you.
So we're talking about redirecting food from a dead man. We're talking about hacking the computer mainframe to steal rations. Talking about stealing salt fish.
Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of life on board the ship.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to put anything towards this?
Some kind of kingpin.
At the minute, this is all out character conversation, Haynes. Feel free.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. We're just talking out character as to what ways he might be able to explore, what options are available to him.
Okay, out character. Go to the team. Go to the team and see what they can do at Exit to help you achieve your goal. There could be a way to steal the food what we want without getting seen on ship and make it a mini mission.
Yeah, I mean, there's always good old fashioned theft.
Yeah. You're a bit stealthy, Cleetus. Yeah.
Cleetus says yes.
Some stealth skills. Might have to put those to.
He has quite high agility.
To the ship's cook. I'm gonna take a stroll to the ship's cook.
Okay, who are you taking with you, if anyone?
I can stay hidden if you need me to be.
Yeah. Well, I think you need to stay here at the moment until we have a really good way of getting you out and about. Because
I've got that covered.
The crew is going to freak if they didn't see you, Cleetus.
They won't.
He's got a blanket on him.
Yeah, it's best not to risk that, I think.
Oh, well, I tell you, I got that covered.
No, not covered enough in my opinion.
Oh well, you'll not see soon enough.
Okay, so you want to visit the cook to try and appropriate rations. You're going. Are you taking with you any other members of your specialist team?
Do you want to come and check out the rest of the ship, Tommy?
I sure be grateful for a chance to take a look around this new home of mine. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Cool. Right, on my way out, I'm going to tell the stormtroopers not to let Cleetus leave with Courtney under any circumstances.
So Courtney, Cleetus, and Nick are being left back in the chamber. Is that right?
Yes, but no one else. Like Courtney can leave if she wants. It's as a fellow crew member. But no one else is to leave.
Okay. The stormtrooper says, "Understood."
I'll tell the others, don't do anything silly, because if you want your head to remain attached to your shoulders. Right. Off we go to the cook then.
Okay, so Tommy and Nixios are heading off to food processing. And you're leaving behind the two lovebirds and the three-arm builder, who's literally a third wheel. Okay, very good.
Third wheel.
Very good. Okay, so Nix and Tommy, you head off towards food processing. Let's have a little look on the map. Okay, so it's around a 10-minute walk for you to get there, and the corridors are mostly deserted as you walk along them. You see the odd crew member, and some of them give Tommy a funny look, but many of them don't. Many of them just ignore you, Tommy, or don't seem to react unusually to you, which is almost strange in itself. And your journey to food processing is uneventful. There's no strange occurrences on your way there. So when you reach food processing, you see that it is very heavily defended. You see that there's a full squad of 5 stormtroopers guarding the door. And you also see that there is several scanners on the outside of the door, observing. As you head up to the door, the lead stormtrooper he salutes to you, Nixios.
Saluting back.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to see the cook, please.
You want to see old King Cook, do you? Is he? You got an appointment?
Nope.
Oh, he's. You met him before. He's a bit of a funny guy. Bit fussy.
Right, one of those is easy, like the quartermaster.
No, he's not. He's not a total cunt. He's just a bit particular, a bit set in his ways.
Right.
Yeah, I can see if he will see you if you want.
Yes, please do. Or if I need to make an appointment, then that's the way it'll have to be.
And he'll he comes in, and you don't hear what he says. But then the door opens, and he leads you inside to a like a staging area. And are you walking in as well, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm staring wild-eyed at everything constantly as I go.
Yeah, you do get a bit of kind of like a rush of adrenaline, a bit of heavy breathing. It's a bit much at the minute. Everything is so unusual, and you are so out of place here. You pine for the simple life of the bayou, but here you are on this strange ship with all these strange people.
This is not what I thought it'd be like,
So inside there's like a little staging area where you see 2 gun servitors, Nixios, and you also see further scanners and a couple of servo skulls that scan you both. And after you are checked and scanned, you're invited to go into food processing itself. And you realise that this area of the ship seems to have some of the best security, apart from maybe the Inquisitor's quarters and the bridge itself. But it seems like food processing is locked down pretty hardcore.
Wow. I don't know why I'm surprised, to be honest, but I kind of am. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're led into food processing, and you see, it's a large chamber with a number of a number of sections given over to various conversion of food into bulk process. So it's here where the nutrient paste is formulated, and it's here that a lot of the food prep is done before the food is sent on to the kitchens, where it's kind of heated up and just passed on to the crew in the mess rooms. And you're led deeper into food processing, and you're assaulted with a number of odours and smells from various cooking stations, and you can't help but get a pang of hunger as you start to walk through. But yeah, it's locked down pretty heavily. Security here is pretty hard, but food is a very precious resource here out in the Cronus Expanse, and the ship is barely, it's not self-sufficient really, so it's always struggling to feed its crew over the long campaign. So you're led deeper into food processing, and there is down here some basting of a roast boar going on. You see this huge roast boar with a apple in its mouth, and it's being roasted and basted. And immediately your appetite peaks again. And so there's still a bit of this. Still a bit of this roast boar going on. And here you meet the king cook, Horatio Butterfield. And he turns around and he sees you, and he's quite a short, pudgy guy, and you should never trust a Fen cook. He's dressed in grease-stained like cook's attire, like the white overalls, but they're stained with grease. And he sees you, and he wipes his hands on his apron, and he seems to be when you come over, he seems to be telling off one of his junior members of staff, and he says, "Well, I don't know. Sorry, just give us a sec. I don't care what you think you're doing. This basting is some of the most shoddy workmanship I have ever seen. I'll have you demoted to serf before you can say, Horatio Butterfield, you see if I don't. I mean, where did you learn the art of cookery? At Gunmetal City? No, enough out. You're not making it work. Go away with you." And he sends away this minion of his. And he takes over. And he sees you, and he says, it's you, Mr. Roth, is it? One of the acolytes? To what do I owe you the pleasure?
Mr. Butterfield. Greetings.
Yes, I was trained under the Culinary Quality Commission, don't you know?
A renowned organisation, well known for their quality.
I hear a rumor they're all made up and they don't really exist. Sorry. No.
He looks over at Tommy Lee and says, "Who is this? One of the swamp dwellers here in the kitchen? Why have you brought him here?"
Well, he's a specialist in dairy produce from down planet side, and I'm just showing him around the ship. It's he's one of my new team members, and
the dairy specialist, you say? I mean, that sounds terribly useful.
It's Tommy Lee. I'm going to offer to shake his hand, but I'm going to use the wrong hand. I'm going to offer to shake his hand with my left hand.
Okay, he hands over his right hand, and your kind of hands meet, but they're the wrong way round, and there's a moment of confusion. And
right hand is how we do it in this day and age.
And there's an awkward silence, and you
switch hands.
You hear the thrumming of the plasma engines. Then you switch hands. Yeah. You shake his hand. He goes, "Yes, the pleasure is all mine, I'm sure."
Okay. If you like your food, sir, and I can tell by the smell that you'd like your food, you want to try a little cheese? I'm going to pull out the skin of cheese.
Okay. Pull out the sack of cheese. It's quite a substantial sack, by the way.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yes, interesting. This is from the planet, is it?"
Bow cheese.
And he takes out a little bit and sniffs it, crumbles a little bit between his fingers, and he eats it and goes, "Yes, not bad for such a primitive planet."
Such primitive planet. Well, let me ask you a question, sir. How much cheese you got aboard this vessel?
Well, I mean, that information is classified, and yes, classified information.
Really? You classify information on your cheese? Well...
Yes, I can't possibly divulge
so you're saying
of all of our food stuff. I am in charge of all matters of food here.
So you're telling me you ain't got no cheese?
Make a scrutiny roll, please.
In fact, first, before I do that...
and you can add a +10 to this one. And you can, you're going to do a little knack as well.
I'm going to do a little knack, yeah.
Okay, well, you also get a +10 on this test because you may or may not have hit the nail on the head.
I've rolled a D9. I don't know. I'll do that again. I don't know why I rolled a D9. There we go.
Okay,
11.
So
goes off, so a plus 20 to my scrutiny.
Plus 20.
Come on, low fucking stats. Nope.
Okay, you look him over, but he's got a good poker face, as Horatio Butterfield. And you don't know, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't have any cheese.
Giving him one of them looks.
And there's an awkward silence.
I'm sure you got plenty of cheese, sir. I mean, why would a man of food, a cook man, why would he not have cheese? Everyone's got cheese, surely.
So, what brings you here? Just showing your new friend around?
They sure as fuck ain't the cheese.
I'm interested in procuring additional rations to my team.
Oh, that's where we can't just be giving out rations willy-nilly. Why do you need them?
Because one of my new team members requires more sustenance than the average individual. He's much bigger.
He's a fat man.
He's a fat man. Well, maybe he should run his fat ass around the ship a few times, and then maybe...
No. I think you misunderstand. He's not a fat man. He's a fat man.
He's a fat man.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like you to make a fellowship-related test, then, Nixios, as you are trying to request more rations for this guy. So I think going to give you a plus 10 for your rank. So I think it's just a straight fellowship test. I don't think you've got anything, unless you've got something you think you can add to this.
I'm going to
anything
add
else that might help.
I'm going to add eating a bit of cheese in the background while he's having this conversation.
I will. Right, I will try and... I've got 2 fate points, so I'm going to use one for a plus 10.
Okay, very good.
Right there.
And then...
Hey!
Okay, and he goes, well, perhaps, I mean, I do understand that you enjoy the Inquisitor's favour, and I am a loyal servant to the Inquisitor, as he knows, of course, and you will say that to him, won't you? I could provide you with some further nutrient paste for your team.
That will be most appreciated, Mr.
Butterfield.
Butterfield.
Butterfield, yes.
I will no doubt mention to the Inquisitor what an asset you've been to.
Yes. I am an asset and loyal. Tell him that.
I absolutely will. Thank you very much.
Yes, good. I shall have the paste sent forthwith.
Do you think there's any merit in producing Bayou cheese for the rest of the crew?
You like this cheese?
Yes, like this one.
Like this
Just
cheese?
like cheese.
Well, sorry, I just heard a noise in the background, and I think it was just my dog, but it was kind of like, I don't know. I'm supposed to be like alone in this house, and then suddenly I thought like
Dog breaking a window. That's all.
It's just a dog just shuffling around, I think. But anyway, so he says, well, I mean, perhaps of course there's always merit, but and he takes you to one side. Next, he says, we don't have any plentiful supplies of milk. You see, we can't just make our own cheese.
Yeah, of course.
We have to use this fucking re-cheese.
I'm not sure that would be...
Supplies are low, but perhaps I understand that you are involved in the trade aspirations of a ship now. Is that true?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's the case, yes.
Perhaps you can get some good food for us. We're running on bare bones here, you know.
Well, the problem with getting food from planet side is the accursed what's the word?
Corruption, you mean?
Corruption.
Yes, it turns everything to shit.
And
perfectly good food turns.
Yes, and I worry about what the greater impact that might have on the crew. However, I do believe that we will be engaging in further trade as we go from planet to planet. So, has the salt fish been released to the cooking area yet now?
That's a very good question, and one which we'll answer in a later session. When we travel back in time to decide what to do with the salt fish.
Okay.
I really have made a bit of a mess of myself in this situation. But no, so what we're going to do, guys, is like I say, this is going to go forward for a little more time, and then we're going to go back. And I think there's slight decisions to be made as to what's going to happen on board the ship. And one of those decisions will be, do you save the fish? Or are you going to release a portion of it to the crew or not? So I guess we can do that bit now a little bit, I suppose. What do you reckon that Quintius and Nixios are going to want to do? Are you going to want to save the fish for selling on, or are you going to want to offer a bit of it back to the ship for?
How much did we have in total?
130 tons. So you could maybe give a portion of it to the ship and
Quintius would, Quintius would be feeding some of it to the crew and trading some of it, I think. Because he's trying to be like he's trying to make himself like a bit of a guy that everyone likes, isn't he? Okay. So he would try and provide fish, I think.
Okay, I mean that seems perfectly reasonable. So you can have already had this discussion, and
what do you reckon, Brownie? 50-50 or a bit less?
I'd probably. I mean, like there's fucking tons and tons of it, isn't there? So like I don't know, maybe just 20%, 30%.
Hold 20% for food and keep the rest for trade.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'd go with that.
Tons, that's going to go for a long while.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay. So the cook says, yes, I greatly appreciate the fish, and I know the crew do too. The salt fish is very good for morale. Most of them have been supping on paste for many months, and they get tired of it. So
can you I mean, forgive me, I don't know my way around fish, but can you milk a fish?
He just looks at you with a look of disgust.
I won't take that as no.
Milk a fish? You're obviously no trained chef.
Well,
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my days.
We don't have much call for trained chefs down in the bayou, my friend.
Right, logic. Let's compute the
logic roll. See if you can milk fish.
Well, some of those fish will be corrupted fish and will most likely have tits. But I can't possibly compute such a.
Nixios, you probably think that you may be able to extract oil from fish, but probably not milk.
Wait. Absolutely positive some of them would have tits, but anyway, let's not do that. Don't divulge into that.
Okay, guys. So the cook asks you whether you can secure more and better foodstuffs for him, and that's a little side quest that I will add on.
Yes.
To the side quest.
Have we just delved into the realm of Slaneshi cheese?
It's not the weirdest place we've ever been.
No, it's not.
Slaneshi cheese and then there's fishy Slaneshi cheese.
Welcome to Darkest Heresy.
Well, now you've got into oil, my brain has started computing, wait, we can make the 41st millennium version of vegan cheese, and then I realised, no, we already have that. That's re-cheese.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't clearly defined what re-cheese is.
We don't want to. It should always.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe best to leave that in an element of doubt.
That's theory of the mind stuff, Val. It's like leave that where it belongs.
It's just a cheese substitute. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's all just different. You just need fat, though. You just need some kind of lipid, and then you would eventually, I presume, turn that into some kind of a cheese through some kind of process.
Fat, you say?
If vegans can do it, yeah.
Well, they do. Yeah, but they do try. They do make cheese from stuff. So yeah, I guess there's processes. But have you ever eaten vegan cheese?
Yeah, and I'm going to just correct you there, Al. When you said they do make cheese from stuff, I'm going to say this: they do make cheese.
Cheese. I've never tried it, but I've heard it's not pleasant. So.
There's a couple of them that aren't bad, but they're no substitute for cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. Like with most of those things, really, not quite. Yeah. Not quite.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been given a new side quest to acquire more food stuff for the King Cook. You've acquired extra rations of nutrient paste for your team. Is there anything else you want to do while you're here? Anything else you're trying to get hold of? You talked about maybe getting some sort of vegetable mash.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the things you've got here on this list are a still, or things that could be turned into a still, tools and vegetable mash and extra rations. That was on your list.
Yeah. So in exchange for releasing the fish to the chef area, we'll trade for some extra rations and the equivalent, like the vegetable mash to brew our own. But I'll just, I won't divulge that we're brewing, obviously, just that we require vegetable matter as well.
Okay, so you've made a test to get the extra rations. I'd like you to make another test, please, to see if you can acquire the vegetable feedstock.
Well, that's if he wants his fucking 20% out of 130 tons of fish.
Okay, so you're going to use the fish as leverage then for this.
I would say so. Yeah.
So I would like you to make a test then at plus 30 for this one.
Oh.
Okay. So he goes, well, yes, we do have some hydroponics facilities, and we produce our own vegetables, and these vegetables are used, these tubers are used to produce the nutrient paste. So we could provide you a portion of that as excess. I will have it sent to your room.
Pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Yes, and remember, I am a loyal servant of the Inquisitor.
An essential member of the crew. Thank you.
Yes, and a fully trained chef. Fully trained.
Well, ain't you just a man with so many fancy titles after your name? I never met a man with so many titles.
Yes. You don't call me King Cook for nothing.
No, I imagine they don't. So, are you a real king, or do you just call yourself a king? And
no,
everyone...
it's just one of those things that people say. It's just a silly name. Just a silly name. I'm not really a king.
It's just I never really met a king before, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, like bow or something. I don't know how these things work.
You could bow if you wanted.
You want me to bow?
I mean, no, I don't want you to bow. But if you wanted to bow, you could.
Do I want to bow? I mean,
Let's say if you were to bow, what would that look like?
Should I? Like this, I guess. And I'm gonna awkwardly bow. Not bending my legs, just bending my waist.
Okay, I'd like you to make a fellowship test at plus 30, please, Tommy Lee.
All right.
This is to see whether you can improve your reputation with King Cook.
Yeah.
Can you pull off a very ornate and elaborate bow? And he goes, yes. Well, pleasure to meet you, and perhaps one day we shall make cheese together.
Just gonna need a little moment getting back up. My back is not as strong as it used to be. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that too often. It's a pleasure to meet you too, King Hasselthwaite Bartholomew, whatever your name was. Oh.
Horace Horatio Butterfield.
My mistake. I do apologize. I'm in considerable pain right now. My back ain't what it used to be.
Okay, so are you done in food processing for now?
Yeah.
It's a perfectly good name.
You can head back to your chamber, unless there's. Well, I think we're getting towards 10 o'clock, and I think we're losing or I've lost Mr. Walker.
Yeah.
So we'll be calling it shortly. But where are you going to want to be heading later? I'm sorry I've had to leave you, Johnny, for a little bit there. I was
you're
back
right.
to you and
that's
Hayden,
fine.
maybe do a few bits with you two. But
no, it's okay. It's good. I'm a bit distracted. I'm painting camouflage. It's I don't know if it looks any good.
Is this your bolt action? Is it?
Yeah.
I can't really see, if I'm honest. All I can see is the screen, so I can't really see.
Yeah. It looks terrible. I'm just fucking about with it basically. I've got these Vallejo paints that I've never used before in my life.
Where did you get them from, Johnny? Did you send from them?
No, what? Sorry.
I said, where did you get your Vallejo from?
I got it from Amazon, bizarrely enough. So yeah.
You don't drive, but in Brig there's a kind of general store called Booths.
Yeah.
And they actually sell Vallejo stuff. I picked up a few bits. I got some. I got retarder medium, thinner medium.
You said retard.
I did.
He did.
Retarder medium. It makes it dry slower.
We're still stuck on the first word.
Medium, so that should turn any normal paint into metallic paint.
Oh, that's cool. That's decent.
Yeah. Anyway, but they've got like a full Vallejo range there, so I've been thinking about maybe giving them a little try, but I've got absolutely shitloads of Citadel paints that I've barely touched on.
Yeah,
a few little technical bits and bobs. Like I've been wanting to try like the thinner for a while, and the thing that makes it dry slower as well. This retarder that should be really useful for blending and shit like that as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I'm just sort of blotching it, bits of camo on, so I'm not really sure if it looks any good. I've sort of just laid it up and just doing different things. It's like, but then again, I thought about it. It's like, well, it could look like, you can pretty much make it however you wanted. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's still it's a playing piece, isn't it? So
one guardsman, and apart from kind of using your earthy greens and all the rest of it, just washing the whole, like once you've just done a basic camo pattern, wash it all with the Agrax Earthshade.
Yeah.
You can kind of bring it all back up again, but that kind of homogenizes it all together.
Yeah.
It might help.
Yeah, I used I've just used a bit of contrast orc flesh for it, and it's just made it a bit brighter than I would have liked, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but I might just keep having really bright and stuff as well. It's like camouflage is really hard to paint.
It is much harder to paint than you think. Yeah. Actually,
make it look authentic, like
yeah.
it is. But yeah, it's getting there. Then again, there's no sort of set way. I mean, there's sort of some set shades and stuff like that. I could potentially do it, but then depending on the manufacturer, it could have been like a faulty batch or something like that. I would say that if anybody's like